Now then, I'm just going to cover a few things about a Tirfor cable winch. Those are people in forestry and tree work will know what a Tirfor is. It works its way along a steel cable. Yeah, we were doing a bit of tree work last week or the week before, and I know that this particular Tirfor, the shear pins were a bit on their way out. Well, they finally went, but it's no big deal because everything doesn't spring apart. It just stops where it is and keeps the pressure on. Yeah, so we'll have a look at everything and I'll explain a few things. Right, here's a Tirfor. Cable goes in there, comes out here, and there's two lots of grabs that just sort of work their way. Grab, pull, grab, pull, grab, like that. Okay, so they're reasonably simple. Let me just adjust this camera a bit. That's better. So, glasses out the way. This is the shaft. Yeah, and there are three cutouts on it, and this is the winch operating lever on which you put a pole. Yeah, so let's just zoom down on that. So there we go, you see, and you have three brass pins in there. Oh yeah, and here they're the ones that have sheared. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, where are the spare shear pins? Let me just move this out the way. And they're commonly in the handle, unless somebody's already used them. So get the rubber bung out of the handle. There we go. Now, will we see this? Hand in there. There they are. Three of them. There we go. They've got little grooves in them. Okay, but I want to know what diameter those are, because I've got some 6mm brass rod. I'm assuming these are brass, but those grooves are definitely interesting. Yeah, so let's measure this, see what it is. I hope it's 6mm, but it could be something quite esoteric. .15, 6.08. Let's just zero it again. 6.2, 6.16, 6.02. So it's a bit all over the place. But I've got, as I say, I've got some 6mm brass rod. So I'm going to cut some of it. How long are these? These are 21mm long, and they've got a taper. They've got a taper on the end. I'm going to not use these, and I'm going to cut some 6mm and see how we get on. That way these can go back in the handle where they should be. So I cut some of this and I tried to create a few little grooves with the 1mm cutting disc. A bit unsuccessful, but I've created a bevel on the front there, on the start. Right, so there we go. So in other words, the originals are back in the handle for another day, and we're finding out stuff. So one of the interesting things is, I get the feeling that this hole, oh perhaps not, anyway it's got to be the right way, because those little holes don't go all the way through, and this is what you would call quite a tight fit. Now it did just go on there as I was practicing, but it doesn't seem to want to now, which is about par for the course, but it goes on. Yeah, let's get something to tap it on with. There we go. Okay, and they're in line. Now, with these sheared off bits of pin, it can be difficult to get this off that shaft. So whilst your cable and everything is really tensioned, put the bar on here and wiggle it and lift at the same time, and then it will come off. Otherwise, I had to, when it's off the cable, I had to lever underneath and tap this round. Alright, so not that easy. So there you go, really. They're 6mm. Yeah, and you just knock them in. And they're there for a reason, so you don't overstress everything, because you know you can get two people on this great long lever pushing and pulling, and you can put an enormous amount of stress on that cable. They're there for a reason. Don't put steel in there instead. Okay, one last thing, and you'll enjoy this. Not many people maintain these, and I did a medium tree assessment for the Environment Agency. Now, I had this in the truck with the cable. They were supposed to turn up with a winch, and they did, and they said it doesn't work. Right? Yeah. And I went, okay, who maintains it? Dunno. Right? So, you know, it's this inherently, they are trained not to show an interest. So all you do for maintenance of these things is pour some gearbox oil or chain oil down there and wiggle everything about. Put a bit on this hook pivot. Where are we? We're in the wrong place. There we go. The hook pivot, and on these, right? Oil it up. And the cable, I've got mine inside a tyre, and just drizzle a bit of gearbox oil or chain oil or something in there. Not a huge amount, because it will soak through all those fibres. Alright, so you oil your cable and you oil the winch. So this Environment Agency winch, I just poured some oil in there. Not a huge amount, you know, a couple of tablespoonfuls just along this slot here. Wiggled it about and it worked. You can virtually guarantee the Environment Agency would have scrapped that because it didn't work. Yeah? 2 minutes maintenance and away it went. Where's the sense in that? Right, let's crack on. Okay, there you go. It's no big deal. 6mm, knock them in. Yeah. Tell me your stories. Tell me what you think. Comments, discussion. If this has helped you, give it a like and share it with your mates. Tirfor winches, they're very robust, but as I've already explained, if you don't maintain them, yeah, eventually they'll seize up. But it's a 5-minute job to make them work again. You've just got those 2 lots of where are we? Trying to get you in the viewfinder. There you go. You just got those 2 lots of jaws, and obviously they need a bit of lube just so that they work properly. There you go. Comments and discussion. Catch up with you soon. Cheers for now.